All righty, folks. So we're going to go ahead and get started. So, how is everyone? Wave back, say hi. You have a good weekend. We had a great weekend. We made the trip over to Bradenton, Florida, and boy, what a treat that was. I wish you all could have been there, or could have been there really. Brandon and Lynette Cunningham always do a great job with hosting events. And they always manage to get a couple good corporate people to show up too. So we had actually our chief sales officer, Kristen Cunningham, was there, and Skylar Fobbs was there. So it was really, really a great event. And we got some insight. We kind of found out about a secret. And I want to share as much of that with you tonight as I can without getting myself in trouble because you're going to laugh at this. I'm not sure the person that was talking to me just, we were in the men's room in the morning before it was starting. And and I just said, hey, what's with the email that went out for the Monday night call? And he told me. He said, and then he kind of looked at me and he said, well, you're going to find out Monday night anyway. And I'm like, yeah, but I got a Sunday night call, my friend. So it was, my joke with him was that most teams do their call on Monday night, and we've always gotten better attendance on Sunday night. So we've done our old company. We had done Sunday nights for like 12 years in a row, and never changed the night. And then we switched for a little while. We ended up going back. It just ended up being the best time to do it because even if people had a busy weekend, they seemed to be winding down by 8 o'clock, and could hop on. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share a slide with you. April's got a training for you tonight, but what I want to prep you for is, as you know, tomorrow night is our opportunity zone. Okay. And I'm gonna call this our 2 minute drill between 8:35, 8:40 tonight when we finish, and 8:30 tomorrow night when we start. Okay, our opportunity zone. I am challenging you to get at least 5 or 10 guests on because we have a call, and some of you may have been invited because it wasn't just executives. I don't know what rank they started with, but they're going to be an announcement tomorrow night at 8 o'clock. We start at 8:30, and we're going to make sure that we talk about what we hear on our launch. And what we're going to hear is this: there's something really good, really big, really positive coming out in the media about LifeVantage and activation. Okay. I mean, good, like ABC primetime good. Okay. Something really, really good. And obviously, I think I know the source, and I said I wouldn't say it, so I'm not going to give you exactly where it's going to be, and I could be wrong, but I do think I know where it is, where it's coming from. And if it is, it's big and everybody knows it. Okay. It's not one of these come along lately. It's something that's been around a long time. Okay. And so, anyway, that is some real, real positive news. So, if there was ever going to be a 24-hour window where you wanted to get as many guests as possible on the opportunity, tomorrow night is the one. Okay. Tomorrow night is the one. And I'm just telling you, if I were you, I would drop everything and just focus on getting guests on tomorrow night. Okay. Because I'm going to have a blank slide ready to slip something in there if I can slip something in there. So it's going to get talked about. But, in some of you, I see a lot of my Chicago friends on here. This is the holy grail for you folks. You have an opportunity tomorrow night to get anyone in the world you want to see the opportunity. And then April and I are going to be in your backyard Tuesday night for anyone local, anyone in the area, in the Chicago area, we're going to be in your backyard. And just to give you a heads up, because I'd like you thinking about it, Skylar said why we were there to make sure we get a June date set up so that we come back again in June. So it's 2 months in a row. So that one is on the company sending us next month. So we'll be there on their behalf. But just, I want you thinking about June, okay? April's away for a few days early in the month. So I want you thinking about a month from tomorrow, whatever might work for you, when, a month from Tuesday, somewhere in that range. So please think about that. But let me share the screen. Okay. It's I want to share with you a couple things. Now, most of you experienced, we didn't get to experience what you guys did. Some of you, I call it dinosaurs with LifeVantage. The company turned 15 yesterday. It was the 15-year anniversary, and some of you have been around almost that long, okay, if not that long. And you were there for the ABC primetime. Okay, and you had the opportunity to make a fortune because of the ABC primetime. Now, so we know great positive news is coming, and I'm not saying it's an ABC primetime thing again, but that'll never happen again. There's too many media sources now. That's not like it was 20 years ago where people watched regular TV. You didn't have 500 TV stations, So it's not going to be like that, but anyway, get ready for it, okay? It's coming and it's very positive. But with that, as I said, you want to invite as many as you can tomorrow night. We start at 8:30 Eastern time, okay? It's the same link we always use. The invite and the live tab are in the Team Unity Facebook page. It's in Messenger, in our Collagen Messenger page. I've texted it to everyone. If you need it, you can message us. But, it's going to be a big 24 hours, folks. And I've said this before. I just don't want anybody to miss out. These are the types of things that happen every once in a while. I got a message earlier from one of our teammates, asking about, it seems like Modere is having some trouble and Monet is running into some wrinkles and Beauty Control is running into some things. There's some companies out there that are hitting rough waters. They're struggling a little. Some of them, the leaders went on and started another company and, there's stuff going on. And here we are, okay, and I was just reading up a little bit on the stock today, but here we are, debt-free, growing. We're about to get a major hit, not a hit piece, a great piece in the media endorsing Activation and LifeVantage. I can't get any better than that, okay? We have millions of dollars in the bank. The company just announced it's paying a dividend again on this quarter, okay? I mean, things are good, okay, with our company and other companies. Some of them, not all of them, most of them are doing okay, but some of the bigger names that we've heard about over the last 10 years, 7, 8, 10 years, they've hit a rough patch. And this is not a time to get slimy. It's not a time to get aggressive and, make them feel bad about the situation. But if you have friends in those companies, if you've had conversations with folks in those companies, it's not a bad time to reach out to them and just say, hey, how's it going? And, why would you do that? Well, because you're so excited about what was just published in the media about Activation and LifeVantage. You got a reason to reach out to everybody that you've ever spoken to with something really exciting, really positive, and new. Okay, so, folks, if you're ever going to dive in, and I'm not talking spam, I'm not talking doing dumb stuff, reach out individually and load that call up tomorrow night. challenge yourself to have at least 5 on there. Shoot for 10. Okay, but challenge yourself to do that. You will not be disappointed. Now, one other note, because I'm going to give it over to April. I'm freaking excited with this. I mean, when I heard this, first when I got the notice, I'm like, really? Monday night, another Zoom? I'm kind of zoomed out, and Monday night, everybody does their trainings. What the heck? And then we get to Brandon's training, and I hear what I hear in the bathroom, and I'm like, oh, I wish you would do that every Monday night. I mean, that would be great, And so anyway, it's going to be good. But as you know, next weekend, not now, next weekend is Memorial Day weekend. So our regular Sunday night, like we're doing now, will be Tuesday, May 28th. That way everybody can enjoy the 3-day weekend. You're not going to miss out. You're not going to have to, try and find the half hour, 40 minutes to watch the replay. But something really cool. Ashlyn Whitaker called the other day and she said, hey, I'm available to do a training on the discount codes and how to use them, the customer codes and the consultant codes. And when you get somebody new in, how to use them, how it works, blah, blah. I'd be happy to do a training on it for your team. So Ashlyn is going to do that a week from Tuesday. And then we'll do our regular thing. She'll probably take 10 or 15 minutes. And then we'll cover whatever else we got to do, because that'll leave us with 3.5 days before the month closes out. So good timing on that. Good timing on all of this. So, we're excited about it. I hope you are too. And the major media story means this, folks. Okay. If you haven't lived it, if you haven't done it, we've had a chance to do it a couple times. Okay. In our old company. We didn't get to do the ABC primetime right when it happened here, with LifeVantage, because we've only been here 6 years. We missed that the first time, although that's a tool that we use all the time. But that positive piece coming out in the media is a major marketing opportunity. It's a chance to verify what you got to anyone you've ever spoken to. You get validation by not your upline, not your sideline, not somebody on your team, but you're going to get validation by a major media source to prove that your products have value. I don't know if there's going to be talk about the business or not, but I know there is talk about activation versus supplementation. Okay, I know that. So you know the bang for the buck you got with ABC Primetime. We had it happen in our old company with Success Magazine feature story. We've had it happen with Fortune Magazine with a feature story. So we had it happen 2 times in the 25 years that we were with the other company. And let's face it only happened once here with LifeVantage, and we just turned 15 yesterday. So here's another one coming. So this is going to give you the opportunity to invite like crazy. Okay, FOMO, fear of missing out. Okay, it's going to give you material down the road. Okay, and I mean down the road shortly for posting and cause for follow-up opportunities. Okay, boy, did you know, boy, did you hear, and man, am I excited. You're going to have a lot of windows and angles on which to share. So it's exciting, folks. I couldn't, the trip home from Bradenton was short yesterday. April and I just running our brains like crazy. I know Kenneth's brain was going crazy too, because he was there with us. But anyway, that's what I got for you. Let me stop the share. And April, it's all yours.
Okay, thank you. How's everybody doing? Good? You excited? That's pretty exciting stuff. I know I'm excited about it. And
Thumbs up, folks. You excited or what?
Thinking about all the ways that I can, reshare it with all the people that I've talked to. And I hope at this point you are keeping some kind of list, some kind of database, so that you can quickly go back to these people and say, hey, by the way, this is what's going on. I want to talk a little bit and just kind of fine tune. Over the week, there are some people that maybe didn't get an absolute yes that they were asking for. And, we always caution you, if you're not talking to enough people, one or two people become super, super important to you. And they can sense that when you're talking to them. So, and I know you've heard that before, but I want to talk more about how to ask more questions. And what really kind of irked me during the week was when somebody got back to you and said, maybe this wasn't the right time, or not interested, or, whatever they said to politely, not do what you want them to do. Didn't you have curiosity to why they didn't do it? And that's what really, there's a way to set this up. One of the things that I know is, Bobby and I never get a firm no. And that's because of the way that we lead into these conversations. That back door is always open. And you've heard so many times before that it's really all about timing. It's their timing. It's not our timing. It's not the end of the month. You can make more calls. You can do more follow-up at the end of the month, but you can't make a person do what they don't want to do. And if you do, they'll get in and then you won't see them again. They'll disappear, and that you've just spent a lot of time wasting. So I want to put some slides up, and I'm going to share this with you. Okay, and I actually did label it curiosity. And, let me full screen play. Okay. So I want to talk about how to turn around the not interested. And, the warmer the market or person that you're talking to, they're going to let you off easy, but they're not doing what you're doing. And there's a reason why that is. And a lot of times when people look at our business, they totally don't understand it. They don't think they can do it. They think they don't have enough money. They don't think they have enough time. You can handle all those things, but there's some work that you need to do early on. You need to set the stage. And there's no shortcut here. You have to take the time. Selling has evolved in the many years. You think about early on, and I guess I try to be a student of all this. Early on, we would say, this is perfect for you. But I think if you say that today, people like the sales, goes up and they're like, I don't want to hear this, that you think it's perfect for me when you don't really know that much about me. You're perceiving, what's best for me, but you don't really know, and then we went to kind of like consulting, selling, and, we were doing more about selling the company than we were about ourselves. People, and you've heard this before, people want to get involved with you. So they've got to get to know you. But before they know you, you need to know them. You need to show that you care. There's some compassion and questions. So we have no way of knowing, even our best friend, we have absolutely no way of knowing, and I think back to when Bobby and I got involved in this industry. His factory was closing. We lived on both salaries at that point, had a big house, new house, 2 new cars, large bills, a nanny in the house. From the outside, it looked good, but very few people knew what was actually going on the inside. They had no idea what was going on. So they don't know what we're thinking. So you can't prejudge a person, even though you think you know what they need. You can't prejudge if they need more money, if they need more time, or if they think they can't do it. You just can't. So we need to ask. This is where you ask, even if you absolutely know. So ask a lot of questions and get it framed out so that the person is telling you exactly what they're looking for. And I use this even before if somebody sees in my stories, they see collagen before and after, and they message me and say, I want it. I still go back and say, like, what benefits are you looking for? How long are you thinking about using it? Have you used other collagen products before? What did those products do for you? What did they cost? What kind of results? Why are you thinking of changing? All these things, although she said she wanted it, all those things are important because that's what you're going to use in your close. You need to have these conversations. And if it's opportunity, you better dial it down even more. If it's a close friend and they need income, or even a total stranger, have you ever thought of adding to your income? Now I'm going to tell you, this is a hot button now. A lot of people, even though they love our products, collagen is expensive. By the time they add the Tri-Synergizer, it's expensive. By the time they add the skincare, it's getting really, really expensive. And so you need to either show them how to get their product for free or to start a business. But if you're not asking enough questions, you will never get to this. So you can say, you know, have you ever thought of adding to your income? Or have you ever thought about getting your products for free? You know, have you ever looked at anything? I want to know if they've been in another company, particularly if they've been in another multi-level marketing company years ago. Do you realize how much our industry changed? I know when I talk to people, a lot of times they're like, you know, well, what do I have to pay every month? And how much product do I have to buy? And how big is the starting package? And, you know, what am I obligated to? And, you know, there's all these things that are so different. And you've heard Bobby and I talk before. When we got started, the packages were 5,000 up, you know, 40,000 was a normal package. So somebody that hasn't been in the industry in years may be thinking, I don't have 40,000. I don't know where I'm going to get that money from. You know, I can't really start there. So, you know, find out a lot of questions about them. You know, if they're thinking of adding income, you know, what does that income mean to you? Does it mean kids continue in private school, you know, pays a car payment, a mortgage? What becomes important to them? Because all of that, the more you dial down, and this is where you really spend a lot of time. You know, our presentation is just a video we're sending. It you know, doesn't take long at all. The presentation part of our opportunity these days should be one of the shortest parts we have. It shouldn't be the longest part anymore. You don't need to sell the company, especially like with this publication coming out tomorrow, whatever. You don't need to sell the company. There is enough studies. There is enough stuff on the NASDAQ. There is enough stuff with this publication, with the ABC, lots of credibility with the company, but they're always thinking in the back of their mind, do they want to do business with you? Do they want to be involved with you all the time? So again, these questions, and we can leave them numerous, but we need to continue to add a lot of questions. And I got to tell you, I mean, I do a lot. I mean, I write out mine. You'll see there's all kind of stuff in here so that I keep my questions flowing when I'm talking to somebody. And it's all about your tone and how you're talking to that person. You've got to be sincere. You've got to be a good listener. You are talking less. You are just, and it's just not like question after question, but you know, like if, yeah, I've said, you know, have you looked at anything? And I might say, oh, by the way, have you ever thought of looking at anything, or have you looked at anything? And, you know, you just kind of ask questions and put some space in there and let them answer those questions. Now, once you've had a good conversation, you know you could offer to help them. And that can be already with the link for the collagen, if that's what they want. Or you can go ahead and, you know, send them a video. This is really critical. And it's funny, even Brandon talked upon it this weekend, you know, you don't just send a video. One, you want to make sure they're going to watch it. Two, you want to know when they're going to watch it. And I don't care if they say a week out, and you've probably heard me say this, but I'm not going to send a video out today that they're not going to watch to Saturday. I wouldn't send it out till, or re-ask them on Friday night. I'd say, hey, do you still have time to watch that video tomorrow? And if they said yes, I'd say, all right, so you're going to watch the video on Saturday. Is it okay if I follow up with you Saturday night? Is it okay if I follow up with you on Sunday? You know, this is a business that a lot of times people have a Monday through Friday type of thing going on with it. This is a business that works into all the little crevices of your life. So if you have to do a call, unless, you know, it's kind of a religious thing on a Saturday or Sunday, you know, you've got one day that maybe you don't prefer to work, but, you know, book those calls whenever. Most people, if they're working, the ones that are looking at the opportunity, and this is when your business moves faster. When you start getting those consultants, your business is going to move faster because they're actively out looking for more consultants. And that's just going to amplify your business. But anyway, so before you send a video, make sure you ask when they're going to watch it. Reconfirm that they're going to watch it at that time. And then, you know, when's a good time for me to follow up? Set that in stone as an appointment. You will be less disappointed and waste less time chasing people if you kind of, you know, just say, hey, this is when we're going to do our follow-up. And then, simply ask what you love best about the video. But we've talked about that before. But this is where it really, this week, people were not getting a firm answer when people said that they weren't interested in the business. They said it seems interesting, but I don't think it's for me. What don't you think is for you? What's going through your mind that I don't understand? And I probably would ask it like that. I don't understand, why this is, as far as I'm concerned, and maybe that's a little bit of posture, but I can't think of a better business that I would rather do. I don't want to be tied to a place of business to do business. I don't want my hours dictated for me. I don't want my salary dictated for me. I don't want my time off dictated for me. Even people like when Bobby was in his own business, worked 80 hours a week. He was tied to that place. The only time we took a vacation, they totally messed up like 10,000 frames. I mean, it was a nightmare to come back to. So business owners know, and doctors have it worse. They have all that overhead staff. They can't leave a lot, because they pay for the vacation twice, really, kind of when you think about it. But ask a lot of questions. Okay, so you're not interested, but why aren't you interested? What did you think that you're not interested in? And keep asking that. What part is not for you? If they say they can't sell, who said anything about selling? Did you see what I did? I had a conversation with you, and then I sent you a video. I kept it simple. I didn't do anything, and now I'm going to try to get somebody else on the phone to do a three-way call. I have no time. Well, we spent 10 minutes on a conversation, 15 minutes on a conversation. I sent you a video. What is no time compared to if you're going to do Uber or you're going to do anything else is going to, if you're going to get a part-time job to pay for those bills, And again, I would bring this back even more because maybe they said they don't like the time away from their family. They want more time with their family. Well, this is the perfect thing that you can do and not take large chunks away from your family. You can very easily answer text. And I've done this, even with my granddaughter, wherever we are, if we're traveling somewhere in the car, we can all take a few minutes to get back to somebody. But I want you to ask, and I would even maybe call up the last couple of weeks people and just say, you know what? I was really, really curious that, you thought this wasn't for you. And it really kind of bothered me that I didn't understand, and I would put it on me. I didn't understand why you didn't think this was for you. I feel like I didn't do my complete job. Why wasn't this for you? And a lot of times it'll get back down to they don't understand it. They don't understand what they need to do. They just need more information. But if we settle too quickly with that, it seems interesting, but I don't think it's right. It almost seems to me like maybe you don't care. So I think the person that's even closer to you, your warm market, you're kind of showing that you don't really care. You didn't really want to know why they said no. You asked all these questions about why they might be interested in a business, but then you never asked why they weren't going to do it. And that's where you're going to get people, because if you can ask these questions here at the end, tie it into the beginning to be, it's really solution selling. And maybe you've heard that before. We are just solving people's problems. But if we don't ask enough questions, sometimes they get stuck with whatever they think. Maybe it's an old business that they were in, or something that maybe their wife did a business and that wasn't as successful as they wanted, or who knows what they think. Maybe they think we still run around town with product in a bag, dropping them off on doorsteps. You really don't know what people know, but we do know now more than ever, people are really unsure of the economy. They're unsure of what's going on more so than ever. And I can tell you that's always been a time where Bobby and I have had huge jumps in our business, huge. So I hope that was a little bit, I think that was my last slide. Yeah. I hope that was a little bit, if I could stop the share. What is the stop? Okay. Share. No. I should have done that best. All right. Let me just stop the share. Yeah. I don't know, Bobby, can you stop it?
Let's see.
It says new share.
View options, stop participants sharing.
Oh, there you go. Thanks. Okay.
There we go.
Yeah, too many screens open. So anyway, I hope that helps you. I think taking more time with people, it's golden, and it can magnify if you just get that person to understand what we do. Anybody can do what we do, but we need to spend the time with that person. I always tell a new person that, we're going to spend a lot of time, probably the first 6 weeks, 8 weeks, 12 weeks. And then I'm going to be calling you to see how you're doing. You probably won't need me anymore. So there's a little bit of a learning curve. But once they understand that you're going to be there, you've done a 3-way call, you've got somebody on to show that there are more people to help, you'll see that you'll have an easier time. And worst case, if you kind of said something or did something wrong, at least you have the knowledge now to know, well, that conversation went this way and it wasn't exactly right. So now I can change it in the future, and maybe I won't say that. So again, go back. If people have said no in the last few weeks, or you've been afraid, just put it on you and say, hey, I'm just curious. I'm just wondering, what did I say that you're not interested in? And I would just get back to that. So I hope that helps you. I know I've just been doing that a lot more with my own prospecting, and it really has helped a lot with the closing instead of having people hang out there. Bobby?
Cool. Well, I'm going to keep it short. I'm going to give you an opportunity if you have any questions or comments. But for everyone, this is a 24-hour window that you can make. Man, you can make some headway. Okay, you can make some serious headway. And for Chicago, you got a 48-hour window, because you can invite anyone on Monday night and then work locally and have them come meet me in April, and we'll hang out with you guys Tuesday night, and set up a date for June too. So it's a good window there. But anyway, I don't want to steal any of your time. You need to be inviting, okay? Yes. But I'm going to open the window. Anyone have any questions or comments that you'd like to share before we close down? We're in Oak Park in the Chicago area. If you send me a message, or Catalina or April, we can send you the invite with the details. I saw that someone just texted on the chat. It's Oak Park, near Oak Brook, but send a message. I'll send you the invite. Anyone, questions, comments? Everybody good? Man, let's invite folks. Let's jam the Zoom tomorrow night. Let's get people calling us saying, I can't get on because it's full. Man, that creates fear of loss. And then, of course, you can follow up with them and tell them the exciting news and send them the replay afterwards. But let's fill it up. So anyway, I hope you're as excited as us. We will do our best to share, what the finality of what it is, because we find out at 8 and our Zoom's at 8:30. So we'll do our best. But anyway, that's it for tonight. And remember, next Sunday night is Memorial Day weekend, where we will move it till Tuesday, the 28th. Okay? Have a great day, everyone. Good night. Bye-bye.
Exciting news. Thanks so much.
You're
Thank
welcome.
you.
This is awesome.
Have a good night.
Thank you.
Good night. Thank you.
Bye.